So it's been just over 2 months since the Action 4 came out, and I've got to say, so far, this is my favourite standard field of view action camera of 2023. I've got the GoPro 12, and while I've been impressed with it, it's not a massive jump over the previous generation. There's just so much to love about this camera. I've used it in multiple scenarios. I've recently picked up a mountain bike, so we're going to be testing it out in some more extreme environments. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be comparing it against the GoPro 12 and like an in-depth comparison coming soon. So stay tuned for that one. I love the fast charging feature, up to like 80% in 18 minutes. Like, so much faster than the GoPro 12, it's not even funny. It's rugged, it just feels like it's built like an absolute tank. This thing is fantastic, the build quality is brilliant. The image quality is great, it's 4K, and while it's not the image quality quite of the GoPro 12, the GoPro 12 is still the king of image quality, if you like. I mean, it is subjective, like everybody has their own taste. Personally, I think the DJI looks absolutely fantastic. The 4K 60 is brilliant. The mounting system, I love. It's quick, it's efficient, you don't have to undo screws and stuff. It's just magnetic and works with those clips. And there's lots of third-party mounts now that you can buy from the likes of Small Rig and Teleson. I'll link them in the description if you're interested. The front touchscreen is fantastic. We will talk about that a little bit more in just a second, but the fact that you can check out your frame and then you can use this to actually change settings, no other camera has it on the market, and that is one of the killer features. And the fact you can add USB microphones to this, you can literally just take off this door and plug a USB microphone. I've been using a Boya system that I've talked about in a previous video. The audio is brilliant and I've had no failures or no lost images whatsoever. It is my favourite camera at the moment, but it's not perfect. There are some flaws I've come across after using it over the last couple of months. The first one is the touchscreen. If you're anything over 60 frames per second, then you don't get any preview on the screen. That's unfortunate. You do get that with the GoPro. Whilst the GoPro isn't a touchscreen on the front, you can still get the preview no matter what frame rate you're in. With the DJI, like I've just said, 60 frames per second, 100, 120, you don't get the preview on the front. It just gives you sort of what the options are and stuff like that on the front of the screen. You don't get a preview. So that is one of the downsides. The other downside is that you can shoot vertical video with this, but you have to use this cage that does come with the camera. You don't have to sort of purchase it separately. I do, though, find this just a little bit awkward to get on sometimes. It's a little bit tight, not the best fitting. I still can't figure it out. I've put it in the wrong way. And then when you've got this cage on, you can mount it vertically like that because you've got the mounting system on this cage for vertical video. Well, that's good, and it doesn't take long to switch from horizontal to vertical, just a click of a button. With the GoPro, you've got that 8x7 and option to shoot in vertical mode without turning the camera around now. That's one of the new features of the GoPro 12, so you don't have to physically move the camera to shoot vertical video. Also, with the Insta360 X3, you've got Me Mode, which allows you to shoot invisible selfie stick mode in vertical video in 1080p. Looks great, and you get that really unique look of having an invisible selfie stick and like a floating camera, if you like. So that's the option you've got with the X3. That's my other favourite camera. So while it's not a real issue, if you do shoot a lot of vertical video, then maybe these other two cameras might be a more interesting option, a better option for you. As of filming this video, yesterday was the first time that I've had any problems with files. They seem like I've had 3 files on my SD card that were corrupted on my last lot of recording with this camera. The problem I was getting was that when I was trying to import them from the SD card to my Mac Mini behind me, it was just basically ejecting the SSD and saying that these files couldn't be transferred. And I've tried it several times, different SSDs. I've transferred it to a different SSD to transfer it from that to my internal SSD, and that didn't work. It's still corrupting the file and making the external drives I've got connected to my Mac Mini eject. And I don't think it's an OS problem, it's all up to date, the Mac OS and everything. I just haven't been able to transfer those files, and that's unusual. The first time that's happened with any DJI products in the past. So if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe you know a fix, but basically I just had to reformat the SD card and everything seems to be working okay now. So apart from those little niggles, those little gremlins that you get with the cameras every now and again, we all know about the gremlins that you get with the GoPro, I don't generally have any problems with the Insta360 cameras. Their software is updated a lot, far more than these other two cameras, and this seems the most stable camera. I've never had any issues with file transfers, never had any issues with crashing, overheating or anything. So if you're after reliability, Insta360 have sort of got that down at the moment. But yeah, for the standard field of view, I pick up the Action 4 every single time when I leave the house. These two cameras are my go-to, and the truth of the matter is, if you can afford both, then I fully recommend you have both of these cameras. This is brilliant for fixed field of view, a better quality than the 4K single lens mode on the X3. Brilliant stabilisation and all those features we talked about previously. The X3 for that invisible selfie stick look is unique, and 360 photos and all those other things you can do with 360 footage is really creative. So when I leave the house, these are the two cameras that go with me. The GoPro, for me, still lacking behind when it comes to features and reliability. Still don't trust it 100%. It's a great camera, it's got the best image quality, but at the moment it's these two that I pick up when I leave the house to film stuff. So let's see what happens with the rest of the year. Hopefully we'll get some more action cameras before the end of 2023. If not, I'm excited for 2024. These cameras are going places. Okay, that's it for this one. See you on the next one. Bye guys.